And I think this is where you kind of get into the whole rabbit hole of conspiracy. Like, how can they not see all these things compounding? They must see it, and therefore there's some level of compromise, or they're being bribed or something. Developers are behaving in a kind of unprofessional way. Basically, core developers trying to change something, which I think people don't want them to change. The effect that gives you is really that groupthink. And that is the danger, I would say. It is a massive shock that Knots has this much adoption. Before people say, well, Knots guys, go fork off and make your own coin. And nobody really wants that. Blind trust in developers is a huge risk because developers are fallible.
Does this affect your sort of bullishness or on price? And this is not financial advice, but like, are these separate issues? Or is this sort of like, oh, wow. Like, you know what I mean? Does this affect sort of Bitcoin's price cycles or how people feel about it as sort of an asset in that sense?
Not really. So I guess a lot of people seeing this, they're probably on X a lot and they're seeing like what looks like a war. But I don't think it's the end of the world, especially because people have sounded the alarm, and now there's more scrutiny to what Bitcoin developers are doing. If you go back like a year or two, no one was really watching it carefully, right? But now people are watching it. And I think having Knots gain traction, more developers working on it, more funding for it is definitely a good thing. So again, like having multiple major implementations that are used by economic actors, economic nodes is definitely strengthening the network. And there will be spam. Like we can't avoid it. We can't prevent it, but we can deter it and discourage it. And I think that should mitigate a lot of these attacks. But I think the biggest thing is that now we're kind of aware of what's going on. I don't know if it's intentional or unintentional, but we know that things are being changed in Bitcoin that are weakening its resistance to spam. And we're doing something about it. Like a lot of people are. So I don't think the network's at risk. And even if it is spammed, we just have to fight back. Like it's always going to be a cat and mouse game. So if you have perverse external incentives at play, well, nothing a node software developer does is going to fix that. It's going to be up to the people running the nodes and building businesses, building on top of Bitcoin and using Bitcoin that are going to do something, right? If you look at the block size war, a lot of the developers didn't really participate in it. Very few of the core developers did. It was a few developers, Luke included, maybe Eric Lombroso and a couple others. But for the most part, it was like, Bitcoiners. Maybe like Giacomo, Francis Pouliot, kind of like more cypherpunk people that are out in the world doing things and engaging. A lot of the other developers were kind of not supportive. Like if you look at who supported UASF, like not that many.
Wow. Thank you. I really appreciate you jumping on this call. This has been really helpful. So I'll leave it to you for any parting words and let people know where they can find you and your work. I want to have you back as soon as possible to get into the whole show I was prepping for without this whole topic. So we can get into Jan 3 and Aqua and everything and nation state adoption. So I'll leave it to you for any parting words and let people know where they can find you and your work.
Sure. I'm on X. My handle is Excellion, and then Jan3 is at Jan3com. We build the Aqua wallet, and you can find Aqua at Bitcoin, at Aqua Bitcoin. So that's basically it. But parting words is really just, don't trust, verify, run a node. One of the great side effects of this whole debacle is that more Bitcoiners are running nodes now, right? And, that is definitely a good thing that they are running their own nodes, verifying their own transactions, and actively following what's going on. Like what the danger is that people are oblivious to changes that are happening and things being pushed in the wrong direction. The only way to counter that is to be aware and prepare.
So you've heard Bitcoin is the new gold rush by now. As world leaders on all sides have endorsed it as the future of money, and now you're looking to get started, we'll show you how. It's actually easier than you think. First, go to your nearest Byte Federal ATM and turn your cash to coin. Byte Federal has over 1,200 locations around the country with the highest daily limits. Go to our website, bytefederal.com, to find the nearest ATM to you. Log in to any wallet, then create an account, deposit your US cash, and instantly convert it to Bitcoin. That's it. We are the only US manufacturer and operator in the Bitcoin ATM industry, and our US-based live customer service is second to none. Go on, give it a whirl, and don't get left behind. Click the link below.